All right, welcome everyone. My name is Menina Chow, and I'm part of the SAP community team, your host today. Before we get started and we start introducing our speaker in the call, just a few housekeeping notes. So feel welcome to ask your questions already in the Q&A button. You should all see it. We will definitely have time at the end to address your questions. It will also be possible for you to raise your hand. And if you want to participate in chat, don't forget to click the right selection so that panelists and attendees can see your chat message. And we're really excited to know where you're dialing in from. Now with me is Carsten Puschke. Some of you might have already seen him. He was in one of the earlier community calls already talking about coordinated lifecycle management. He's in the IT business since 2000, and you, Carsten, have been taking responsibilities in the areas of solution, product management, business development, and solution marketing. So quite a diverse set that you have. Today, we are hearing from you about, as you can see, explore SAP's integration reference content for your end-to-end business process. And I'm stopped talking now. So hand it over to you, Carsten. Enjoy.
Thank you, Menina. And also from my end, a warm welcome to all of you, wherever you are. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Always a pleasure to talk to customers and partners. As Menina said, I've already had the pleasure covering another suite quality called Coordinated Lifecycle Management. This is actually our last call around the suite qualities that we tried to bring closer to you over the last months. Before I get into the slides and into the presentation, and since your attention is still very high, I thought by myself, hey, why don't we start with something different, which is our SAP community topic page called SAP Integration Strategy, which I would really bring close to you, to your heart, to your mind, as here you get the possibility to consume content and information that is around SAP's integration strategy overall, from a business development point of view down to the very technical detail, as you can see here with, for instance, the suite qualities and all the blog posts that others have issued over the time. So really a starting point for you. Therefore, simply click on that follow the community topic page button, and then there is, give it a moment, here the following button, and then you would be really with us by saying us, primarily Katrin von Asen, who's also in the call today, and myself, as we are hosting that page, bringing the various content sites together. So take the chance, subscribe to this community topic page, and then you would always be up to date with regards to our integration strategy. All right, having that said, back to the presentation. Title was already given and said to you. The agenda looks as follows. As usual, we are starting from the top, what's SAP's integration plan in the cloud, and then we will diving into the suite quality called end-to-end process blueprints, and walking through the various points that are depicted here on the agenda slides, and usual behavior at the end that summarize what your benefits would be and what your key takeaways should be. And you will also be getting some sources of information, additional sources of information. Good. Starting point. As you can imagine, customers always demand features and functions, but not only these type of things, but also, since we've acquired so many companies in the past, the amount of requests towards integration aspects was rising up in, pretty heavily, like domain model alignment, consistent API provisioning, user experience, always a hot topic. The UIs are different. Hey, could you do something better for us? out-of-box integrations. Keyword here is the Business Technology Platform Integration Suite, formerly known as CPI, Cloud Platform Integration. Master data handling, always a hot topic, and also not to forget the consistent security and identity management. And as these requests came into our inboxes quite heavily, SAP built the integration strategy for the intelligent enterprise. As you, I believe all of you know this architecture diagram, frankly, we sometimes call it the burger slide. Where also the suite qualities, as you can see them here in between, play an important role. Therefore, we heavily introduce these type of things, our internal efforts and the results that you could benefit from with the suite qualities, with the webinars that we've provided, also an open SAP course. And today there is the final one, end-to-end process blueprints, which I would like to bring a bit closer to you. Beside the community topic page, also a good start is the strategy paper that got continuously updated over the time, which we issued last year for a first time. Christian Klein, CEO, showed up initially, and now it got reworked, as I said, several times, and you get some key statements from our CTO, Jürgen Müller, and from the other board member, Thomas Saueressig. Here below are the links, and this paper is then summarizing these 5 points, like the big picture, the end-to-end processes, and how they should, how they look like and hopefully fit to your business needs. The technical details, like the business technology platform, roadmaps, are also linked into the paper. And then finally, since we also showed up just recently with RISE for SAP, with SAP and SAP's integration strategy, you get also some details with this paper. Therefore, I would also like to bring that closer to you. Take a look into that paper as a starting point where you can then jump into the various aspects and whatever you are interested in with regards to integration and harmonization of your portfolio. Good. These were the introductory statements. Now let us jump into the suite quality as such. What was, to some extent still is, the situation on your end, customers and partners? You faced and still facing probably some challenges as you've had limited visibility on the target state of your enterprise architecture and the integration points of your end-to-end processes. So that was fragmented in the past. And the solution now is the stuff that I'm going to introduce in a minute, where you get then a consistent overview of end-to-end business process blueprints supported by SAP's integrated intelligence suite. Which brings us back to the architecture diagram. Look here at the top in green are the business processes we summarized for now. That's also evolving things into these 4 mega business processes: lead to cash, recruit to retire, design to operate, and source to pay, which then get mapped to the underlying applications summarized here under the box called Intelligence Suite. We can already see here aggregates like customer experience, where various SAP solutions pay into, or spend management, finance, human resources, where you have success factors, or Concur as solutions contributing to HR, these type of things. And these aspects now get combined by bridging the gap between your business needs and business aspects and the underlying IT. There are different roles which we are aware of and where we believe meet your needs as users, like an enterprise architect, the developer, or a content explorer. And all of these types, personas, are seeking for information in terms of the business architecture to understand the offered end-to-end business processes, their scope and their value, and then also, and not disconnected, but integrated, then also get an idea how does the solution architecture look like to understand the product portfolio and available solution variants, which I will show you in a minute, and also to explore detailed solution architecture, including links to integration content. Keyword here is BTP integration suite or API specifications that you would get in the API Business Hub. But before we dive into the API Business Hub, most importantly is the aspect and is our effort to build an SAP enterprise architecture methodology. And this is then the next level of detail where we started to bring different models together in this horizontal layer called process view, which is not the end of the story. We are evolving, as you can see on top of that. There is the capability view, which we will be also targeting in the future, as well as the data view, which is depicted here at the bottom of the slide. But for now, let me get started with these solution variants and diagram types that we have already built for you as starting points in order to get a better understanding, hey, how could my IT landscape, or how should my IT landscape look like based on the solutions that SAP is offering. So let me starting here on that slide on the left-hand side. There are these so-called business value flow diagrams, which I then also will start with during my little demo. And then these type of diagrams get combined with these solution variants and these diagram types that you can read here on the slide, like a solution component diagram, solution value flow diagrams, or solution process flow diagrams. I specifically will show you how a business value flow diagram then interlinks with a solution process flow. And also finally, there will be also and are already solution data flow diagrams available that should help you to understand, hey, what do I need to combine, to connect in order to build my IT landscape within intelligent enterprise scope. Good. Demo. The demo is just, to be honest, screenshotting of views from the API Business Hub, but let me leave my presentation for a moment again, getting back to my browser. What I would like to show you is the new look and feel of the SAP API Business Hub. Just last week, this API Business Hub view got released as general available. It was already available in a beta mode. I don't know if you guys have looked into that already. Now it's GA, and people have invested a lot into the direction of intuitive guidance, how things can be found here in the API Business Hub. Just have a look at the Explore tab here, where you can then search for products and details behind the business processes. Again, are listed here, also categories. You may remember, if you followed our suite quality aligned domain model presentation, that we've heavily talked about the ODM Explorer. These type of things are also here listed in the API Business Hub. So again, the suite qualities are spotting into the many various aspects of our offering and rollout materials or platforms like the API Business Hub. So take a look into that. For now, let's get back to my presentation, full screen mode. Here we are. As I said, the demo is just a screenshot. Look, the same as I've just shown you live a second ago, but now I put these boxes here around certain tabs and aspects as I would like to bring the business process aspect of the API Business Hub closer to you. Therefore, I made a square here, which I clicked on, which brings us then to the business processes. The 4 mega ones are here the starting point from a business process point of view. And what I would like to show you is how lead to cash got developed and compiled in the API Business Hub. And by clicking on that, we are then here, same wording, seeing several solution variants. We also get a description here at the top. Lead to cash cover the entire business process from initial contact with a prospective customer to order fulfillment and service delivery. So this is what lead to cash is now bringing closer to you with these various solution variants. And we're gonna visit lead to cash for cloud deployment. All right, I click on that. And then we are ending up in the lead to cash for cloud deployment, again, with a little description. We have these architecture views here already. And now you can see already that there are different diagram types being made available for you as entry points to get into the details what lead to cash for cloud deployment is all about. And also these icons should help you to get intuitively guided through the overall process. And here we have this little chevron. And what I would like to start with is the solution value flow diagram. I click on that, and then you can see, all right, this is lead to cash for the cloud environment. And here are the different sub-business processes, so to speak, like contact to lead or opportunity to quote down to order to invoice, invoice to cash, finally ending up with the delivery of subscriptions. And I'm gonna take you to this invoice to cash section, specifically to the process accounts receivable box chevron. And if I'm gonna click on that, then we are jumping into a different diagram type, which is, I already talked about it, the solution process flow diagram. Described here, again, little description, what's it all about. And what you can see here now that we are going into the details from the business process to the participating SAP solutions here vertically described or listed, like SAP subscription billing, SAP integration suite tools, SAP S/4HANA Cloud, or the Commerce Cloud. And for the different lanes of these SAP solutions, there are these steps described, what we believe are mandatory things to be set up for this particular step or sub process. And if we're gonna click on this dash arrow here, then we are ending up at the next level of detail, which is an API reference view, or we can also take a look into a test system for that particular business process step. So let me click on the API references first. And here you're gonna get the APIs and the API specifications for different aspects, like billing document header. What are the APIs that are offered for this particular thing, or what are the APIs offered for billing document item, and so forth. Here you get the list. That was already there with the old SAP API Business Hub, so not a new thing, but just rearranged. And here you get the details. If you would click on Get, then you would get the details on, hey, how does the API specification look like, and what do I need to do? Therefore, let me go to Test View, where then these type of things can be tested. You can put in here various parameters as like, I don't know, integer 50, show me the first 50 headers, and then you can here see the sandbox system is being made available for you. You simply click on execute and you would see how the API behaves. Next thing, back to overview, would be then almost at the end of my little presentation for the API Business Hub would be then, where do I get then really the details like I know it from the documentation? Here's the link into the documentation by clicking on business documentation. you would be routed to help.sap.com, where you then get the well-documented setup for these type of things. What are the prerequisites, steps to be taken, and so forth, as you know it from the documentation. So the story here is, back to that slide, the story is we started from the very top as a business developer who is interested in how does a lead to cash process, or almost they know how the business process look like. So what is SAP putting together for lead to cash, for source to pay, for recruit to retire, and what are the steps? And from there, you can get down to the very detailed level of information like the API Business Hub API specifications, and further down the documentation which is required then in order to execute the design steps for your IT landscape. So stop for now, take a breath, and almost in many cases at the very same second where we ended up at that point in time, questions arise like, okay, now I got an understanding how a business process and the technical aspects look like. You know what? I also would like to edit, adjust, modify these things. And for this, we have SAP Cloud ALM, a cloud-based application lifecycle management available for you, where you get your project management environment into your hands for the intelligent enterprise, for cloud-centric customers. It manages the cloud and the hybrid solutions and supports all components of the intelligent enterprise. And it was redesigned and built on modern cloud technology. That's what the colleagues gave me into my hands for today's presentation, and it's ready for immediate consumption and should be more cost efficient for you guys. What I would like to bring closer to you with Cloud ALM specifically is the third point of this slide here. There's much, much more, which I cannot cover today. That would require an extra session. If you're interested in that, just put that as a feedback here into the feedback section. But for now, I would like to point you to the possibility and to the availability of pre-configured processes that are then extendable and adaptable to your individual needs. All right, this is what Cloud ALM then on top of the API Business Hub can offer to you by, and not a big surprise, by using the same diagram types, which are now available or which will be, little disclaimer, so work in progress, to some extent already there. Other things are still roadmap items. Therefore, I'm already here referring to our Roadmap Explorer, where you will be seeing, hey, what is available by when in terms of business processes, diagrams, and stuff with Cloud ALM. But for now, message is implementation based on SAP best practice process content and intelligent enterprise scenarios have been incorporated and are being incorporated into SAP Cloud ALM. Process-based scoping for fit to standard workshops is there. So that means I talked to the colleague just a few days before our session today. Hey, what's the message? And he said, we would like to bring our customers to our standard content that we have made available for you in difference to do retrofit design for your IT landscape. And you can then build your requirements based on these process models, and also you get detailed access to these diagrams. Here, the abbreviation being used, BPMN, stands for Business Process Model and Notation, which is, yeah, almost the same that I just talked about the slides before when I introduced the different diagram types. This is now here summarized under the BPMN process models. And you can now also then offering this content and can change it, you can extend it to your particular business process needs. Again, lab preview. Some things are already there, others to come. I'm referring again to the Roadmap Explorer, but you can then create your own solution processes based on existing diagrams or from scratch, greenfield approach. You can also build these things fully on your own. You get versioning into your hands, you can maintain these value flow diagrams, and you can use customer processes in the requirements management and for test management and other things. Some more screenshots, how it looks like. Again, look, this is, for instance, a value flow diagram here, solution value flow diagram for source to pay. Next view would be then a solution process flow diagram. So almost similar to the solution value or solution process flow diagram that I've shown to you for the lead to cash sub business process. You can see here that the guys already modified and adjusted these lanes from the software solutions to the user profiles. So also these things are possible and thinkable. You are not limited to the particular solutions, but these diagrams can be also then modified and adapted to, for instance, user profiles. Okay, good. And final screenshots that I brought with me is again this one where you can start to build these value flow diagrams on your own. All these type of things should be possible with SAP Cloud ALM point. Good. Another thing, there are a lot of actions, efforts internally are going together these days. And so I got approached by another team that is being in charge for SAP Cloud ALM, particularly for SAP S/4HANA Cloud. There is a special offering available for that as well. So let me leave my presentation again and let me jump to their landing page. Or maybe back to our SAP integration strategy topic page. Look, we just updated our topic page here with these latest news, SAP Cloud ALM for S/4HANA Cloud. And if you can read a blog that these guys have written for you, where you can get the details, or you visit the landing page, which is again this one, nicely compiled, put together, and where you get the details, what SAP Cloud ALM, particularly for S/4HANA Cloud, can bring to you, and where you also get details. May I refer to this value slide deck, which I also opened up here. And then you get, look, this is the same slide that I just used in my little deck, which I got from these colleagues, and then more described in detail. What I can also imagine is that these type of things, where is it? I wanted to show you, give me a second, this here. The questions are arising at the very same second. Hey, what is SAP Cloud ALM versus SAP Solution Manager? At least that was brought to their attention many, many times. And you can also then here get a first glimpse on, hey, where is the overlap? Where are the differentiating aspects? And if you have further questions, you can still get back to me, but might be easier if you simply use this email address here at the end of the presentation, then you would be getting in touch already directly with the subject matter experts. Okay? Good. So covered that as well. Let me getting back to my presentation. Again, here are the key aspects of what SAP Cloud ALM for S/4HANA Cloud can bring to you. Accelerated time to market aspects, like the 4 that are written down here. Do not read them by now. Also the safeguard business continuity and reduce the cost of ownership. All the details, go to the landing page of my colleagues and get the details, what it can bring to you as a new solution. Good. then we are already at almost the end of the presentation, but not without letting you know what the benefits are. I've talked a lot about the standardized format and method for capturing and describing end-to-end processes, and would like to spend some more words on these things like the definition of aligned reference business architecture and implementable reference solution architectures as your hopefully single source of truth. And as we believe, it then bridges the gap between the business and IT. I'm really curious about your feedback. Let's see what your comments in the feedback section are. And it provides much more transparency on SAP's portfolio to optimize your investment decisions. Okay, and it's the basis for various use cases, the whole software lifecycle of SAP's integrated intelligence suite, covering development, design, testing, validation. Keyword here again, Cloud ALM, where you can build your projects and where you could then get these things into your hand, or if you quote unquote just would like to consume these things as they are, then the SAP API Business Hub would be your source of truth. Key takeaways. I hope that I could make the point by setting the stage. Hey, what are your pain points? Let me hear if you agree to that, or if there are different views on that. I tried to introduce the process blueprints, which are the bridge to bridge the gap between business and IT. You got a notion of what SAP architecture methodology is all about, and the related diagram types have been introduced. The business process blueprints are integrated into the SAP API Business Hub. And as an outlook, you get the flexibility into your hands to modify existing or to build new diagrams from scratch by using SAP Cloud ALM for implementation. All right, additional sources of information, not to forget that. With the strategy paper, one aspect that I wanted to bring closer to you is if you click on that link, you would be routed to the strategy paper. And if you go to page 8 of that paper, then you can see again all of the suite qualities that we have available for you. And if you are clicking on those tiles, they are interactive, you would be ending up at the corresponding suite quality related roadmap. So roadmaps.sap.com with a certain suite quality. Here it's aligned domain models. By clicking on that, a pre-selection already happened in the background, and you would get all the details. Hey, what are the items and innovations that are related to the suite quality? Also, these type of links, again, the community really plays as important for us, not only for Katrin and myself, but for the whole cross-architecture team, the engineering folks, product management. This is your source of truth for the overall SAP integration strategy. There you get all the details. So bookmark that one, follow us, and stay up to date. Webinar series are outlined there on that page. The history of webinars that we've conducted, as well as upcoming webinars. Next one will be in 2 weeks, talking about the business process then. Source to pay, if I'm right. So watch out for upcoming webinars and visit the recordings of the ones that were already done. And then here's the paper again, and the Open SAP course finally is really worth to be visited. I don't know, a 1-2 week effort, you get a certificate and you learn all the details in a very detailed fashion what the integrated intelligent suite of SAP is all about and how things are playing together. Having that said, I'm at the end. I hope you enjoyed the little presentation. Hope that I wasn't too fast. Let's see what the questions are that were coming in. I see 20 by now. Minima, could you help me? I don't know. I believe there's also a rating or something like that. What should we start with?
Go in the Q&A tab. This is where you will find Q&A. Do you see this? Or do you want me to read it out?
Q&A tab. Let me check.
Yeah, button, or how you want to call it.
There's the chat and there's the...
Yeah, chat was mostly like back and forth between, me sharing the links that you were adding to the presentation. In Q&A, there's one question. I can read it out if you like. Which tool can be used to view BPMN diagrams on RDS?
So to my knowledge, it's right within SAP Cloud for ALM, where you can modify and edit the diagrams. Also, diagrams as such, as I've shown them to you in the API Business Hub, were built with the so-called Enterprise Architecture Designer, EAD. And to my knowledge, but need to verify that, if you got a license for the EAD, then you could also modify these diagrams by using that tool. Make sense? I will also check, by the way, I take these questions, and what we usually do is writing a blog post after the webinar. And so do I. And we're then also taking care of these questions. We'll be getting back to my subject matter experts just sitting next to me. Hey, these questions got asked. I said the following, is it right? Yes, no. If no, then I will definitely refer to these questions in the blog post.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, you pointed it out several times on community.sap.com/topics/integration-strategy is where you can follow up with the blog posts and ask additional questions if you have any further ones.
At any time, guys. At any time.
Yeah.
Really. Good.
There are more comments I see. So comments in the chat. Maria, it's really great to read your comments. This SAP Cloud ALM, it's great beside the help of the implementation, integration, and for the operation. Could be also our enterprise architecture repository and live. I just love it. So I think that was a compliment to how you were showing it to us. And yeah. I also posted the link to the registration for the upcoming community call on July 21st on optimizing procurement with intelligent integrated source to pay processes. So lots to come to follow up with.
Now, there was another comment. Let me check. Maria, was it Maria? Maria Antonieta Lopez Dasca, executive colleague of mine, rapid SAP.com business processes. So the best practices explorer, right? These type of things are also available there in the best practices explorer. So things are going together more and more. There were even the tool set was somehow fragmented, but I can promise we are putting a lot of efforts into these type of things, making your life easier, reducing the sources of information so that you do not need to jump from one tool to the other. API Business Hub will still exist and Cloud ALM, but also these engineering folks are talking to each other, making sure that consistency is given in terms of the diagrams and stuff. We are progressing, guys. We are progressing. Yeah.
Really cool. Then we have Manjana saying, great session. Just wanted to share that in case you haven't seen that. Everyone else that's still online, you can unmute yourself. Well, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Share your feedback, thoughts, questions, anything. Carsten is still around. This busy man. It's good. We appreciate your time, Carsten.
Oh, super. Always fun having these guys here in front of me. Although they are still silent. Maybe there is somebody saying, all right, I want to ask a question. Then open the mic.
Then let me stop the recording. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you, Carsten. We'll still
Okay.
have 3 minutes after I stop the recording, and maybe there's one or other shy person that would like to speak up.
All right, we'll stay online. Okay.